Opinions and stories around the game we love, told by your favorite storytellers. Stay up to date with all things cricket. Subscribe to Cricbuzz's YouTube channel and press that bell icon now.
Well, first win of 2022 for Team India, but they come thick and fast. And in 3 days' time, 6th, 9th and 11th are the 3 one-day internationals. So on the 9th, same venue, same place, same time start is going to be these two teams clashing in the second one-day international. Plenty to think of for the West Indies, but also a little bit of a conundrum maybe for Team India. And DK, I'm going to start with you first. There was no KL Rahul in this particular match for personal reasons. He was not available for selection. You reckon he obviously walks into the team at whose expense?
Oh, most definitely. I think he will definitely walk in. And if he does come into the next game, which he is, and I do see him opening the innings then. When he comes in, he should be opening the innings. There is no doubt. So that's a pretty straightforward call, I would think.
So fair enough. I guess that means Ishan Kishan would miss out on that. But I guess he knew all along that he's in there as a stand-in. Any other reasons to change anything from the 11 so far? Shaun, I'll come to you as well.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends which surface. I had a look. There was a pitch alongside, which maybe they would play on. If it's not, if they play on the same one that they've used today because it didn't go the full 100 overs, maybe Kuldeep Yadav might be thought of. The way Chahal bowled was great. I think for me that what they'll be wanting to do is try and secure the second victory so that the series is secure. And if they do that in the second game, then in the third game, you can look to give guys opportunities or rest bowlers and have a look at what else you've got in your stocks. But I wouldn't want to be thinking that they may be changing. I mean, change what you want to change. Rahul comes back for me, yes, no doubt, because I would think he's a better player. And then if you're going to introduce a spinner who's going to be maybe a match winner on that surface rather than someone else, that could be the plan.
Well, fair point. That's the only news we expect, the only change we expect from Team India having gone one up in the series. Is it about personnel for the West Indies, or is it just about doing things differently with the same 11 they put out in the park if they feel that was their best 11? Let's have a look once again at their squad, and we can see the players they put out there, the guys who didn't play, someone like Nkrumah Bonner. Hayden Walsh was expected to play the first game. He would have loved to have bowled on this surface. So DK, assuming it plays this way, one of course is Hayden Walsh. The other, the two names we mentioned, Romario Shepherd, ODI Smith. Yes, T20 is their number one format, but they're also looked at in the 50 over format.
Yes, I think so. Romario Shepherd and ODI Smith, obviously all-rounders, so they'll be giving enough with the bat as well. So it's very interesting that one of the two will obviously be looked at for the next game. Whether they go in with the wrist spinner, that's something that they need to look at, considering Fabian Allen batted decently in the opportunity that's been given to him. So a couple of changes you can expect from West Indies as well.
Yeah, so if Dinesh Karthik is going with the possibility of one of these guys being looked into, and if a Shepherd or ODI Smith strengthens your batting, can you then sacrifice a Fabian Allen to get in a little bit more rip with the spin with Hayden Walsh Jr., Shaun Pollock?
Yeah, you could. As I said, I think it'll be dictated to by the surface. I think they'll have a look on the day and see what could present itself. You know, having two left-arm spinners, I don't know if that's the right way to go around. It's something with a bit more variation. Is always nice to have up your sleeve, and if they can bank on someone else being able to do some overs, if he doesn't have a good day, maybe Pollard steps in and gets 4 or so of his overs, then it might be a more attacking option. I think in the middle overs we've seen around world cricket the impact that leg and wrist spinners will have on the game, and so there must always be that driver, I would think, for most teams to try and include one.
The one other question that I've often had of pundits and players, and of course it was asked at the post-match presentation to skipper Kieron Pollard, was Jason Holder's batting position. And I'll get both your thoughts on this. DK, it's often been said, if someone like Jason Holder's in form, he's giving you something, why can't he be pushed 1 or maybe 2 places up the order? After today's performance, would you do that?
Look, I think batting at number 7 is not too low in the order per se. I do feel that whether he could be given an opportunity, if he needs to bat, then he obviously needs to bat at 3-4, because they have Pollard at 6 and they have, as of now, they're trusting Pooran at 5. So are you looking at him as the number 3 or number 4 option? That's a very interesting call, I would say. Yes, does he have the skill sets? I do think he definitely has, especially a very good player of fast bowling. This is a question that's always going to happen, and they have a lot of all-rounders in the side. So every time one of them does well with the bat, the question is going to be asked, can he be sent up the order? But in defense of Pollard, I think at the end of the day, he's picked a set of batters to bat at the top of the order, and they're expected to deliver.
Shaun, where do you stand on this? Because in a sense, I can think of, I know we keep referring to that 100 in the Afro-Asia Cup, but there was a time when people used to say to you, Shaun Pollock, you're good enough to bat higher up the order.
Yeah, I just think they got to concentrate on those guys at the top of the order getting runs and keeping him where he is at number 7. You're almost trying to use him as the band-aid to sort out the bleeding in the middle order or the top order, and I don't think it should be the case. If he comes in at number 7, I don't have any issues with that. I think they more importantly need to get their top 4 or 5 firing, and I think that's the key. I mean, down the line, whether it becomes Test cricket or one-day cricket, and you pick particular teams, and maybe he does change as the years go on. But just on the back of one performance, I'm not so sure you need to change anything for now.
Well, we'll wait and see what the management have to see. They do have options in the squad. India also will definitely have one other option coming, which will be in the form of KL Rahul. But if we look ahead to game number 2, with Rohit Sharma saying at the end of the game, they've ticked all the boxes. Now they're going to look to go and wrap up the series and perhaps try out a few more players for game number 3. Just to finish off, one from each of you. Shaun Pollock, I'll come to you first. Key player for you to watch out for in game number 2?
Well, I think Chahal again. For me, I think the leg spinner definitely has a massive part to play against the West Indies. I don't think they've always been great readers of certain deliveries, and I think he's now gained some confidence. He's back on the Indian shores. He's getting some purchase on the surface, and I think those middle overs, will be the overs where India will try and once again dictate terms. We saw his impact today, came in, picked up 2 quick wickets in the middle order. I'd like to see if he can do it again, and whether his confidence is high enough to be able to have that impact.
Well, that's been the performer from now. Do you have a different one to watch out for, Dinesh Karthik?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Mohammad Siraj, because I thought he bowled well today with the new ball, got the ball to swing, and obviously got the ball to come back in as well. So if there is something in the wicket, then obviously he provides a lot. So I'll be looking closely at Mohammad Siraj.